say, it makes it much clearer moving into this period, but how much of a physical wrench was that process of adaptation, particularly as you've been on stage with it and adapted it for that period, but then you presumably had to lose things and bring new things in. Was that a difficult process in the writing?
I've done quite a lot of Shakespeare in my time, and the principal responsibility I think actors and everybody else has is how to make the story clear to an audience who knows nothing about it. And I always assume on stage that the audience will never know what happens in Richard III, will never know in Hamlet that Hamlet is going to die, for example. And so we tell the story as clearly as possible, and that has always meant that in my major Shakespeare, I've always done them in modern dress. It seems to me that fancy dress gets in the way. Shakespeare isn't old-fashioned to me. He's bang up to date. He's modern. And one way of convincing an audience of that is to put the characters in the sort of clothes that we still wear today. That makes it very easy for the movies, because if you think of 1930s, 40s movies, you think of those, this is not being shot in black and white, but you think of those slouch hats, you think of how fabulous the women look with their furs and their little hats close to their heads and their arched eyebrows, and you think of the immaculate men in their tuxedos and white tie and tails, and then realize that behind the scenes, magnificent as they look, they're ready to kill each other and stab each other and fight their way to the top in the power structure. And you've got a much more telling, believable sort of Godfather story than if everyone's in fancy dress of floppy hats and wrinkled tights.